Number 10. St. Louis Cemetery, New Orleans, Louisiana. New Orleans is a town steeped in mythical traditions like witchcraft and vampires. Numerous cemeteries dot the landscape, but the St. Louis Cemetery is the oldest in the city. Here, visitors will discover ornate above-ground tombs and mausoleums, winding footpaths, and crumbling memorials. Many people have reported claims of ghost sightings here. Number 9. The Winchester Mystery House, San Jose, California. With mile-long hallways, staircases to nowhere, and doors that open into walls, this mysterious maze-like Victorian mansion in San Jose boasts 160 rooms. The home was originally built by Sarah Winchester, the wealthy widow of William Wirt Winchester, son of the manufacturer of the Winchester repeating rifle. Sarah tragically lost both her daughter and husband to illness, and later sought help from a spiritual advisor to overcome her depression. The medium warned Sarah that the Winchester family had been struck by a terrible curse and would be haunted by the ghost of the many deceased killed by the Winchester rifle. The only way to appease the dead, according to the medium, was to build a house for the lost souls and never stop building. For 38 years, construction on the house continued for 24 hours a day until Sarah died. Today, visitors to the home will want to look out for the many unlucky number 13s featured in the house design as they roam the haunted halls. Number 8. Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum. This former state hospital for the mentally insane is part history site, part hotbed of paranormal activity. Ghosts of Civil War soldiers and former patients are said to be walking through the 2.5 miles of hallways. Visitors claim to see things move or feel the presence of spirits. The largest hand-cut stone building in North America, this mammoth granite structure was constructed in 1858. The asylum originally housed 250 residents at a time, but at its peak in the 1950s, more than 2,000 patients called this place home. Trans-Allegheny stopped treating patients in 1994, but brave thrill seekers can roam the halls on any number of special guided tours, including a nighttime flashlight ghost hunting experience. Number 7. Stepp Cemetery, Benton, Indiana. Only 24 or so crumbling grave markers remain in this famously haunted cemetery in Indiana. Legend has it that it was founded by a cult called the Crabbites, who sacrificed small animals and participated in sex orgies. Another story holds that a mother of an infant who died was so distraught that she went to the cemetery and dug up the child's body after it was buried. Grieving, she took her own life. Visitors claim to have seen her ghost, dressed in black, weeping over her daughter's grave near the side of an old stump that has since rotted away years ago. Number 6. Moundsville Penitentiary, Moundsville, West Virginia. It is estimated that 1,000 inmates died while being incarcerated at this fearsome Gothic-style prison. Some died of natural causes or from inmate violence. But over the course of the penitentiary's history, 94 men were put to death since the first executions began in 1899. Less than 500 inmates were housed in the facility when it opened in 1866. But by the 1930s, its population exceeded 2,400. Today, many ghosts are said to be lurking the halls, but the most famous is the Shadow Man. Visitors have also claimed to see the ghost of a maintenance man who was stabbed to death by prisoners in the basement for snitching to prison guards about inmate activity. Historical tours begin just after sunset, leading guests through the haunted prison by nightfall. Number 5. Gettysburg Battlefield, Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. As the site of one of the Civil War's bloodiest battles, Gettysburg stands the test of time as one of the most haunted places in America. Over 50,000 soldiers from the Union and Confederate armies were killed, and their ghosts are still seen and heard today by tourists to the field and town. Visitors also claim to hear the thunder of cannons, gunfire, and the screams and moans of the battle's victims. Devil's Den, a rock formation where dozens of bodies and limbs were discovered after the war, is a popular spot for tourists seeking a ghostly encounter in this historic area. Number 4. The Stanley Hotel, Estes Park, Colorado. As the infamous locale where Jack Nicholson went crazy in The Shining, this hotel is a hotspot for paranormal activity. The Paranormal Research Society of Paranormal State fame came for a field trip, while Taps from Ghost Hunters has experienced phenomena around the hotel site. There are well-known spooks, including a young boy who makes his presence known in room 1211, and a young man who just likes to hang out in closets and bedrooms. The hotel's owner, Mr. Stanley, makes his presence known by appearing to visitors in the lobby and billiards room, while his wife Flora entertains guests by playing a piano. The hotel offers ghost tours, so next time you visit Colorado, bring a camera. Who knows, perhaps a friendly spirit will appear for a picture. Number 3. St. Augustine Lighthouse, St. Augustine, Florida. The ghosts of this haunted lighthouse are rumored to make their presence known by appearing as creepy shadows and making unexplained noises. Legend has it that the daughters of the superintendent of lighthouse construction drowned and continue to haunt the building ever since their untimely death. 3 other people have passed away in the lighthouse from illnesses, while a keeper named Joseph fell to his death. Visitors have claimed to see shadows high up in the tower, while others hear the daughters laughing and giggling at night. The eldest girl is also fond of appearing before guests, donned in the clothing she wore on the day of her death. Number 2. The Myrtles Plantation, St. Francisville, Louisiana. Built over an ancient First Nations burial ground, this plantation is known for its ghostly inhabitants. Rumor has it that 10 deaths have occurred on the site. One of the most famous involves a slave named Chloe, who was supposedly killed by fellow slaves after an ill-fated attempt to poison another house mistress. Visitors have reported seeing ghostly children on the veranda, a curly-haired woman who mysteriously appears and disappears, and odd handprints that mysteriously appear in mirrors. One visitor reported a cold spot hovering over her bed, while a rattling closet door kept her awake. If you want to get some sleep while visiting Myrtle Plantation, you might have to tell the ghost to keep it down. Number 1. Bell Witch Cave, Adams, Tennessee. The site where John Bell and his family were tormented by a ghost now known as the Bell Witch is open to brave visitors who wish to explore the spirit world. The legend varies, but most accounts claim that Kate Batts, a neighbor of the Bell family, believed she was cheated out of property in a land purchase. Kate continued to torture the entire Bell family, physically abusing the youngest daughter, Betsy, and cursing John. Visitors claim that any object taken from the site is cursed, while many have reported encountering a violent force while on the property. Technology doesn't work there either, with cameras mysteriously malfunctioning when users try to capture an image. Like these top 10 videos? Subscribe by clicking the annotation here and give our video a like. Have an idea for a future top 10? Leave a comment in the section below.